Shalom. I'm Rabbi Nathan Davidovich, speaking on behalf of the webyeshiva.org, speaking to you from defraud, Israel. This week we have two different parshas, finishing off the book of Vayikra, the book of Leviticus. We have the Parsha Behar and Bechukotai. I'm going to speak about a very important concept that we learn in Parsha Behar. I'm really bothered by watching the news, reading the papers, hearing people's comments, seeing how callously people speak about one another, how easy it is to have hate speech roll off one's tongue, to belittle other people, to make fun of other people. This is not the way of Torah. And we learn this specifically from this parsha. Let me give you a contrast as we start. In the Ethics of the Fathers, in Pirkei Avot, there's a beautiful statement that Shammai said. He said, Havei makabel es kol ha'adam, the Sever panim yafot. Receive all people with a pleasant countenance, with a pleasant face. And the Tiferet Yisrael, the Yachin Boz by Yisrael Lipschitz in the 18th century, he said, what that means is don't look at people in a frowning manner. Don't make faces at somebody. When somebody says something to you, don't roll your eyes. Don't make them feel insignificant. He says the greatest Gemilas Chasadim, the greatest charity, good deed you could do for a guest is to make them feel comfortable. And for every human being, he says, increase the love between man and his fellow. And by this, not only do you increase the love of the other person, you yourself will reflect and get that love also. And you will see that the real wealth in this world is not the money that you achieve, but it is the friends and compassion that you make through your actions. Now, contrast that with what the Torah is going to tell us in this parsha. First, the Torah reads, if you sell or buy property from somebody else, don't cheat your neighbor. Don't wrong another person. And Rashi says, the great commentary Rashi says, this refers to wronging people with money. And it's an interesting story that the Gemara brings about Reb Safra. Reb Safra was a merchant. He had something for sale. And somebody came and wanted to buy the item. And Reb Safra was in the middle of his prayers. He was in the middle of saying Shema. So the person comes to him and says, I'd like to buy this item for X dollars. Rav Safra doesn't answer because he's in the middle of Shema. So the person thinks, I guess I didn't offer enough. He increases his offer. He increases his offer and says, okay, I'll pay double X. And Rav Safra still doesn't answer. And he's still praying the Shema. And this person really rents the item. He says, okay, I'll pay 3 times as much. Rav Safra finishes the Shema. He turns to the man, he says, I'll be happy to sell to you for the first price you gave me. Because I felt in my head, in my heart, that was a reasonable price. I would agree to it. That's what it means to not wrong another, even with your thinking. But now, that's involved monetary matters. Okay. It's easier to understand monetary matters because we know we don't want to be cheated. You try not to cheat somebody else. You know, the concept of cheating somebody, it's more apparent. If you cheat somebody, they're liable to find out. But the next pasuk, the next sentence in the Torah says, "V'lo sonu ish es amiso." Don't wrong another, but fear your God, because I am the Lord your God. And Rashi on this says, what this means, don't wrong another. He's talking about onas devarim, wronging another with your words, putting down somebody, doing things or thinking things about somebody that is not proper. He said, Rashi comments, he said, what difference does it make? If you think bad about somebody, who's going to know? I mean, it's all in your heart. It's in your mind. You hate this person. But nobody's going to know about it. Or you make a face. Or you insult somebody. Big deal. Well, it is a big deal. It is a big deal. And if you think nobody's going to know about it, this is the only sentence that ends, in terms of wronging somebody, ends with Ani Hashem Elokeichem. You should fear God because I am God. God knows what you are doing. You can't deceive God. And the concept of embarrassing somebody is such an important concept to avoid. Rabbi Yochanan and the Gemara in Sota, in the name of Rav Shimon ben Yochai, he says, it is better for a person to throw himself into a burning fire than to embarrass somebody in public. He says, Noach lo la'adam sheyapil atzmo toch kivshana eish al yabim perech barabim. That's how important it is to not embarrass somebody. When you're embarrassing somebody, you're causing their face color to turn red. It's like you're killing them. You're taking the blood out of them. It's worse than murder to embarrass somebody in public. Think about what we do as a matter of course, how easy it is to embarrass somebody. We don't even think about it. We say names about it. We call people names, regardless of, I'm not even talking about lashon hara, speaking ill of somebody, just the way you relate to other people. Totally contrary to what the first thing we learned about in Pirkei Avos, meet everybody with a pleasant face. And Rabbi Eliezer Mimetz, he was one of the great of the Rishonim, of the earlier commentaries. In the book Yereim, he said, just like there's onas devarim, wronging somebody with words, yesh ona inyan ra, there's wronging somebody with just acting badly towards them. He says, shemara lechaver panim ra'os, showing somebody a bad face. It means making a face at somebody, rolling your eyes, acting dismissively to that person. He says it's a way that can kill somebody emotionally. They tell a story that once in the study hall of the Chazon Ish, the famous commentary, famous rabbi, there was a little child who was jumping up and down and acting like a child does. And it was disturbing people. So one of the people in the study hall went up to this child and said, if you don't stop this, I'm going to tell your teacher and get you in trouble. The Chazon Ish heard this, and he said, you are giving this child pain by doing this. You are violating what the Torah commands us. Do not wrong your friend, because what you're doing can have a lifelong consequence on the child. We have bullying of children in schools. Parents, you need to tell your children, teach your children the danger of bullying. We've seen, God forbid, chas v'shalom, many times children who commit suicide because of bullying. But where does the bullying start from? We ourselves have to set the example. If we are nasty to each other, make fun of one another, forget that we are all holy human beings descended from the very chariot under God. We all have holy souls, and we defile these souls by making light of them. How can we expect our children to do any better? So a message to all of us is in every one of your dealings, think before you speak. If you have nothing good to say about somebody or nothing to say, don't say it. Don't start belittling somebody and using names, and we see it by everybody. It's time to stop it. It's time to take a reckoning of who we are, who we're supposed to be. And we as Jews, who have a job of being the light to the world, must set this example. Thank you for listening on behalf of the WebYeshiva.org. I wish everybody a wonderful Shabbat, a Shabbat of light. And remember that it is up to us to bring light into the darkness. Shabbat Shalom.